You're going to be among the first to be retributed against Jeremy when the new order comes along.
Yeah.
You've been far too vocal.
It's only a matter of time before Mr. Newberger's AI Funnies is shuttered. So that's probably a good sign that if you're listening, you should buy a T-shirt, a Who Me T-shirt, as soon as possible from bankruptandcompany.com, because you don't know how long Mr. Newberger is going to be around. Those might become collector's items, is all I'm saying.
Act now while supplies last.
We'll set up a pirate radio version of it, like on the dark web or something.
Well, actually, full disclosure, I sent you some Mr. Newberger AI voice today, so you could just create a whole show of me after I'm behind bars and just keep it going.
All right,
I give you my permission.
Excellent.
What happens when three high school friends reunite during a Trump apocalypse? I'll tell you what happens. They do a podcast, little buddy.
I'm king of the world.
You are watching Generation Exile.
Again, we talked about this recently. Yeah. Republicans think everything is an earned privilege, and Democrats think everything's a human right.
Right.
And somewhere in between, we have to find the compromise and pay for all this shit. Which brings me, perhaps, to tonight's news, gentlemen.
All right. Oh, excellent. The most depressing news segment we may ever do.
There's a lot of stuff going on. I actually wore this shirt tonight, and I have kudos to anyone that can recognize this pattern.
Is that from the miniseries V?
It certainly is, yes. David. It certainly is. Are you familiar with that show, Jar?
The old one, yes, but I didn't recognize the flag.
Yeah.
That actress who looked like Kirstie Alley or something, and the baby was a lizard, and I remember little bits and pieces of it. Yeah.
Robert Englund.
You pretty much got
my
Robert Englund.
My wife loved
Mark Singer.
Loved V. Yeah, Mark Singer. Oh, I love Mark Singer. Yeah, my wife loved V and made us watch when they updated and did a new one. And
I didn't see that.
It wasn't like really that good. So, but
no,
whatever.
Well, anyway, this shirt, I was waiting for the right occasion, and because it is obviously, you can tell, reminiscent of a swastika.
Yes.
I think it's pretty safe to say.
Yeah.
And you remember in the series V, they came as our friends and promised great things, and said, "Don't look behind the curtain." And had a very kind of fascist facade,
right.
In their presentation and their uniforms. And then
wonder where this is going.
They were lizards. Well, yeah, right. Tough guess. So here we are, another week, guys. And Trump announced on Monday this week that he's going to use the National Guard and the D.C. Metro Police, placing Washington, D.C. under direct federal control, and deploying National Guard troops, saying the move is aimed at restoring order in the city, specifically to get rid of, in at least the next 30 days, bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged-out maniacs, and homeless people.
Of course.
In Washington, D.C.
Didn't he tell them to self-deport?
He did.
Well,
yeah.
They didn't listen.
Well,
you gotta love
they can't afford it.
They can't afford the bus fare. You gotta love a president who cares so much about the people in D.C. that he's willing to send in the National Guard to help them stop their crime, especially when it's at a 30-year all-time low.
Yeah,
now that's going above board to show love. I have to say
that's really the disconnect. You know, the city's mayor, Muriel Bowser, nice name, Bowser, by the way.
Yeah.
Did not know about Trump's plan.
She was in her turtle shell.
She was being kicked by Mario as an attack on the boss.
Banana peel.
But she called the president's move unsettling and unprecedented.
Yes.
And Trump, put other big city mayors on alert.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, you could be next. So smells a little bit like martial law light, maybe. And what are we thinking here? Is this just to distract and flood the zone as he usually does, so we don't talk about Epstein or care about Epstein?
Yeah, I mean, he's
I
like,
wish
what's
it,
going
I
on?
wish it were that simple.
He's like 10 news cycles already of distractions ahead of that, so it's hard to like pinpoint that. Like everything
Right.
is to distract against Epstein. The problem with Epstein is not Trump anymore. It's those around him who refuse to hold him responsible and let the file see the light of day. But I guess we'll see what happens when Congress returns, because I think his move of pressuring Mike Johnson to delay and close Congress's session has been successful. It's given him enough space to get far enough away from Epstein where he could focus on martial law in D.C., skirmishes in California. I think he sent ICE agents to Gavin Newsom's press conference or rally today also. He's really like
Wow.
leaning in on the dictator fascist thing. So we'll see when Tom Massey, who's the one like crazy Republican congressman who's still championing the release of the Epstein files, comes back into session and has a bipartisan effort to, make the DOJ release. We'll see if we're back in the zone of talking about it or if the moment has passed. But I saw today Twitter had a hashtag Epstein distraction was trending, and I couldn't tell whether that was started by people saying Epstein's a distraction or people saying that Trump was distracting from Epstein.
Yeah, it could go either way.
I mean, I feel like this is all part of the push for total and complete eternal power. And I might just be not prejudice. What's the word? What the fuck is the word? Paranoid. That's the word.
You're not prejudiced.
No, I'm not.
You're paranoid.
Yeah.
You're so paranoid you think you're prejudiced.
Yeah, I'd rather be prejudiced. No, but between there's the Texas redistricting thing. There's they're doing it in Illinois now, or one of the I states. It's a national push in all these Republican states to redistrict everything to guarantee a midterm win, and then this all has to get done before midterms next year.
Right.
Because the second the Democrats take over Congress, things change. I don't know. That's another thing is like we're seeing now that our Constitution and our laws, like time we're dealing with someone who's sort of power hungry and authoritative and racist, and we see how weak our guardrails are.
Yeah. The judges keep the Supreme Court keeps siding with him on these
Weak
flash moments.
guardrails.
Yeah.
All around.
Even if they don't side with him, he just keeps doing what he's going to do. And what are you going to do? You can't arrest the president because he's immune now.
Right.
And this president in particular has profited extraordinarily.
Yeah.
His crypto venture is valued at $4.5 billion.
Wow.
That's new money. That's new wealth
Yeah.
since the election. And I have a lot to say about that, but we'll get to that in time, I'm sure. But, it's like the gloves are off.
Yeah.
He's grabbing everything he can. The deals that were made recently, if you guys heard about this deal with chipmaker NVIDIA.
Yep.
So now the federal government gets 15% of their revenues of a certain type. I think it's called an H20 chip that's exportable to China. It's not the greatest, but NVIDIA wants to sell chips. And now the federal government is wetting its beak in that business.
It's also worth noting,
stories.
real quick, I just want to add this fact to this context, is that NVIDIA makes the GPUs that people use to mine cryptocurrency. So it's not just getting a cut. There's probably got to be something else going on there. Go ahead.
I heard two separate stories about Intel. One was that he was going to try and get the CEO of Intel fired because he was unhappy with him. And then today I saw a story that he was trying to invest or take over part of Intel, the company. Another chip maker. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I did not see
I
that.
didn't actually, but that's kind of freaking me out too.
Wait, so would that mean that our government controls the means of production? Would that be socialism?
Well, here's the thing: is so many things that Trump does is like stuff you'd see out of an emerging markets president. You know, a China, a Turkey, a nation that's just trying to get its act together and build commerce. You know, taking a piece of the government action, you know, government intervention in the private sector, rampant overspending,
Just to give you
and independence of the central bank. I mean, that is huge.
just to tie back to Intel, it's funny how quick news moves. 2 days ago, Trump said the Intel CEO has an amazing story. And a few days before that, he said that he had to resign. But today, the Trump administration said they were discussing taking a stake in Intel. That is actually today's news, about an hour ago.
That is crazy.
Well, it's I mean, the amount of money that the Trump family is making from the presidency. If the complaints about Hunter Biden was that he got this cushy job, you know, for the Ukrainian energy company, he got paid $50,000 a month.
Right.
Oh my God, that's over $500,000 a year. You know, and he probably didn't work that hard for it. And you know what? Let's call a spade a spade. It was a connection job.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
That's how most
you guys
jobs
remember
work.
the name of that?
They just don't end up with a $50,000 a month salary.
You remember the name of that company, that Ukrainian
Burisma,
energy company?
is it?
Yes, thank you, Dave. That was it, Burisma. You know, so even if you think that's as crooked as all get out, right? We're talking about $600,000 a year,
Right.
that the Biden family profited from
Right.
in their relationship. How do you like the sound of $4.5 billion?
Crazy.
And we ain't even done with 2025.
I can only hope that Don Jr. gets so much money off of this deal that he buys so much coke that he blows up his like nose and has one of those like, you know, when someone's like Artie from Howard Stern's nose like fell off because he had too much coke. Like if that happened to Don Jr., that would be awesome. That'd be like some justice.
I was reading today, and I'd lie if I understood that, if I said that I had my arms fully around this, but you guys hear about pancake swap?
No, this sounds awesome.
Sounds sexy and delicious.
Yeah, sign us up.
So,
That's not where the story's going, I fear.
no, pancake swap is the name of an app. It was created by Binance, and this app or this software serves as an incubator of sorts, drumming up interest among traders to use the coins issued by the Trump family's main crypto company, World Liberty Financial.
Oh.
And then there's some dude who ran Binance who was like, did time in jail.
Yep.
And now is, you know, I don't have all the pieces, but I'm seeing enough of the pieces to say, this is fucked up, guys.
Yeah,
This
but
is not okay.
I'm sure the job report that's going to come out with the new Trump's new pick to lead the Bureau of Labor Statistics is going to show
Oh my God!
that
Can we
Trump
talk about
has
him for a
been
minute?
successful with the economy. Yeah, what was this guy's name? EJ and Tony?
I think it was
Something like that.
Dr. Tony Eats His Ass. His name.
I didn't know he had a doctorate, but yeah, he this guy is Trump's pick to lead the Bureau of Labor Statistics after he fired that woman because he didn't like the report, right? And the reason I saw a news story about him was because I have a picture of him. Hold on, I'll share. Here he is. This is the guy, upstanding looking guy.
Yeah,
He looks like the kind of guy that, you know.
He's got the Joe Pesci collar from Goodfellas.
Yeah, he's got that Pesci collar.
Yeah,
but he looks
like a really upstanding citizen, a guy that wouldn't be associated with any kind of riffraffery or insurrection.
Oh, I have another picture here. Look, here he is now, taking in a little tourism at the Capitol on January 6th.
He was probably there for other business, Jared.
Yeah.
On January 6th.
I mean, think of
He's
all the
an important
jobs,
guy.
all the jobs that had, you know, from that day, cleaning up, ER nurses helping beat up cops. You know, he's counting the job numbers. So yeah, this is the guy you want right here, giving this sort of report of how jobs are doing in America, because I'm sure he'll be honest about it.
He was previously employed by the Heritage Foundation.
Right.
So, you gotta like that about him.
Right.
How old is that guy?
He looks like 20. I don't know. He's got to be like late 30s, mid 30s.
And what is his background professionally? Does he have any business running a Bureau of Labor?
Don't
and
worry
Statistics?
about it. Don't worry about it. He's got a Joe Pesci tie.
Oh, I got a lot of cash.
What do you need
No,
to know, huh?
He is a chief economist at the Heritage Foundation, but he's not a stats guy.
Right.
He's the new going to be the new commissioner at the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
The Heritage Foundation.
Honestly,
oh my
chief
Lord.
economist at the Heritage Foundation doesn't inspire any
No,
confidence in
no,
me.
that's like being the ombudsman at Breitbart. Right? It's kind of holds like that much. Like, well, you're making sure that they don't get the story wrong. An important job.
Our economy is booming, and EJ will ensure that the numbers released are honest and accurate, Trump said in a post on Truth Social.
Yeah.
Honest and accurate were boldface, because obviously that Biden appointee was just trying to torpedo him.
Right. Yeah, you are no longer able to trust the job report. I think that's the headline there. Whatever job report comes out of the Pesci tie guy is not trustable.
Oh, wait. I got one more little factoid about E.J. Antony.
Yeah.
Now, this is from the Daily Mirror, so maybe take it with a grain of salt. But he appears to have a painting of the Bismarck, a Nazi World War II warship, behind the desk in his office.
Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles.
So I don't know what's more fascist about him, his association with the Heritage Foundation or his love for Nazi naval warcraft. Both really troubling.
You reminded me of another story in the news that the Trump administration is taking over sort of the curation, overseeing of the Smithsonian museums.
Yes.
Because they feel like it's gotten too woke.
Right.
I did a little music video about it.
Brilliant video about this,
right?
Which people should check out.
The
if
myth.
they haven't
So
seen
I
it.
call it the Mythsonian. The Mythsonian. And there's one shot in it where part of the lyric is about not caring about what gay people sailed the Navy ships because they removed Harvey Milk's name
Harvey Milk
from the Navy ship. So you can imagine what the Heritage Foundation is planning for everything. They're just such an awful like Batman villain group. So that a guy from them, their economist, is in charge. It's just terrifying.
These are the people that brought you Project 2025.
Yes, they are. It's these kinds of I get it. There's like a concern that there's like an over wokeness in the school, curriculums, and that there's like an anti-American sentiment. That's what's driving this. And it extends into some of this protest movement that's protesting the Israel-Palestine, but it also it stems from these kind of right-wing think tanks where they really want to put a halt to any negative words in history books about America. They feel like it's anti-Americanism to discuss some of the blemishes our country has, from slavery to civil rights pushback.
The word blemish is doing a lot of lifting in that sentence.
Yes, it is. And as a result, I heard a debate on CNN between I think this chick was like on some reality show where like she yelled at fat people to lose weight quick. The Big Loser, maybe it was called. Jillian something or another.
Oh, I remember her.
Remember that? She was like your typical like pretty gym bot, but she was like angry faced always, yelling at fat people.
Yeah.
So now she's yelling at like CNN anchors about how she agrees with the Smithsonian regulations, and how like there's some exhibit about the people fleeing Cuba, and instead of talking about the evil Castro regime, it was talking about how they were treated when they got to America as evil America, and went on further to say that like racism is like overblown, something to that effect. You have to listen to this clip from her. It is quite something. That's where that chick landed.
So it turns out she was the biggest loser all along.
Right? Yeah, those people that were fat were probably wonderfully lovely people having to deal with this asshole, and that's the real story of that show. They shouldn't have been counting the pounds at all. So it's amazing. Like if you fail as a person, you can get a job as like a Trump surrogate.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's your path to redemption.
Yeah.
That was the
Public failure.
That's your way back in.
Hey,
Right.
I found the clip.
Yeah, you want to hear a little bit of it?
Yeah, I would love to hear what a nutritionist has to say about American culture.
I don't even. Is she that even?
All right, you guys can see it?
Yeah.
Whole thing is like, oh, no, this is all because white people bad. And that's just not the truth. Like, for example, every single exhibit, I have a list of every single one. Like, people migrated from Cuba because white people bad. Not because of past. Yes, no, it's in there. That's what I'm saying. You don't actually know what's in there. Do you know that when you walk in the front door,
what exactly,
the first thing you see is the gay flag?
Jillian, you have a lot of stuff in front
Yeah,
of
I
you.
do,
What
because
exactly
I don't, because here's the thing.
are you talking about?
Okay, I'll give you an example.
Yeah,
There's
please.
one called Change Your Game, right? This has been an installation there. Is gender testing fair in sports? Does that, and then it goes on to talk about how it's complex to do gender testing in sports. It's not complex. It's basic science. That's untrue. It's XX chromosome, XY
I guarantee you
chromosome.
that's the exhibit she read
Sports.
about.
Is it fair to have biological men competing against biological women in sports? No. But why is this in the Smithsonian?
Right. She found one exhibit.
She knew of that exhibit, I bet you, before she went there. She probably heard there was a trans exhibit at the Smithsonian, went there, and then just walked around with like a notebook, sort of collecting what she saw as anti-American or whatever. I mean, what a reach that Cuban thing is, no?
Why would you leave Cuba if white people are bad? There aren't white people in Cuba, you know?
It's just terrible, man. This chick is just like brain dead. The fact that she
makes no sense.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you go to the Smithsonian, you're going to see a lot of things. I mean, you're going to see
hopefully
great museum exhibits about the history of our country. I think that the African American Museum in D.C. may be one of the best museums I've ever been to. I don't know if you've seen it. Just really well done.
I have not.
I highly recommend it before Trump changes it into the KKK Museum. And there's a great Holocaust museum in D.C. and the History Museum is always been, as well as the Air and Sea Museum. The Smithsonian does a bang up job in terms of preserving history. So to have like Trump put his tiny little fingers all over it and change history to sort of what he sees as history, which is who knows what the hell that is.
Do we know if he is upset about this particular exhibit of homoerotic George Washington at the Smithsonian?
Hey, I had some homoerotic George Washington in my video too.
Did you?
Great minds think alike. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I saw. I was at the Smithsonian a couple years ago down there.
And you snapped that picture? Is that yours?
Yeah, that's my picture.
They have Archie Bunker's chair at the Smithsonian, and I bet Trump would love that.
You remember that letter he wrote to Martha? Martha, your heaving breasts against my chest on a hot night crossing the Delaware. I'm sorry. We'll save my fanfic George Washington porn for later. But yeah, so it's ridiculous.
The revisionist history is pretty sickening. And the only thing perhaps more sickening is the soon-to-be-made history from important things that he's doing now. Trump had a meeting today with Vladimir Putin.
Oh, was that today?
I believe that was. Oh no, maybe they're queuing that up for.
I think that's tomorrow. But yeah, he's packing. He's on his way.
And I find this very troubling. You guys know I have a deep conviction that Ukraine is a free state. They were invaded by an aggressor nation, and Trump just completely justifies Putin at every turn and rewards him for his bad behavior.
He has surrogates on the air talking about how Ukraine should just give the land back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? If Putin's coming to Alaska, they're not putting him up at a Days Inn. I mean, Putin's a billionaire. They got to put him up in some kind of sick spread. They got to make sure he's treated like a king.
Yeah.
Don't you think people are going to put effort into making this guy feel really, really comfortable at his time in Alaska? I mean, they're not going to make him feel uncomfortable, and that really sickens me.
Didn't you hear Trump?
Really sickens
Trump
me.
accidentally referred to Alaska as part of Russia.
Well, it was, of course, a Russian colony,
Yeah.
and then they sold it to the United States
Yeah.
in the 1800s. You can still see churches in Alaska with those onion bulb domes.
Yeah, from your porch.
That are famous in Russian architecture.
I'm sure Putin is really excited about taking it back or being gifted it, or because Trump doesn't give a shit about Alaska. He would give that thing like quicker than you could say Sarah Palin's balls to Putin in like a heart flash.
He's got Murkowski in his pocket, so.
Oh yeah, she'd bend over too. Just have it, have at it. It is sickening, Mike. Even for people that don't care about Ukraine, the fact that a dictator who's murdered his own people, other nations, has meddled in our own democratic process, is being feted like another one of these idiots, like the guy from Romania. Like Trump likes bad boys. He likes the worst crime you've done or the worst atrocities you've committed, the more excited Kim Jong-un style welcoming you'll get.
Exactly. In his first term, he, broke Kim Jong-un out of isolation by meeting with him and talking with him. Didn't really do anything.
We are an axis of evil, wannabe. Like we're like fast trying to get into that, the evil membership club, so that we're part of whatever war is next. We're on the wrong side of it.
Right.
And that's that's being empowered by people that I guess originally got on it for their hatred of gay stuff. They didn't like trans. They didn't like gay marriage. Who didn't like a black president, and have found alignment in the sort of racist policies of some of these dictators and countries on the other side of the planet. So that it's like, well, why are we being friends with homosexual Europe when we could be friends with homophobic, Russia? And they just made the swap. It's that simple. And I think that's what they teach at the Heritage Foundation. It's probably the whole course there. It's like, do you hate gay people? Yes. Oh, well, have I got a new world, positioning for you? Think about this one. Russia. Just think about it. They hate gays. They don't like foreigners. They have a leader who rules with an iron fist. And
really clean supermarkets.
Yeah, really clean supermarkets.
And
we're going to be great buddies.
No crime on the subway system. It's lovely.
That is where we're heading. I think during the we were talking before about how the Epstein story kind of disappeared. What filled the vacuum is all of these manufactured stories about Obama or Adam Schiff or Hillary and the deep state trying to start a coup. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the fever swamps, but that's the kind of stuff they've been, not only talking about on the sort of dark web, but being echoed by Congress people and Trump enablers and sycophants in his administration to try and make it catch fire. Because it's if you want to talk about how Trump might be on the Epstein files 1,000 or 2,000 times and not release those files, then we need a scandal as big as that about the other side, just to create a cloud of distraction. And that's what right now we're in that cloud. And until Congress comes back, breathe it in. It's just crazy fumes.
On that note, though, may I share this song with you? That I think it's not. I'm not going to sing it.
Oh.
But I came across this and I thought it was wise. All right, you get the idea.
Yeah. Dave, who was the musician there? We got to give a shout out name. That was really exciting and talented. Who is that?
Kathy Fink.
Kathy
Fink and Marcy Marxer.
Love them. Awesome.
Nice.
Great work, ladies.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, well, music and satire is, as you guys know, my chosen tool. But we have to fight back somehow.
That's true.
And
we talk about it.
Our chosen tool with our show, even.
We talk about it. We joke about it. So Epstein files might not go away, but I do have some good news. Dave, you said you wanted good news.
I did want good news.
Jillian Maxwell was approved for work release.
Nice.
Oh, so I mean, she gets out of the jail for a little bit.
Yep. Yep. So she's cleared to leave her minimum security prison camp for work assignments.
Like, what kind of jobs? You think she's like in the yellow pages looking up grooming? Animal grooming.
Dog grooming.
Yeah, you said puppy grooming, right?
Yeah.
On the blog MuellerSheWrote.com.
Yeah.
Just going on to show screenshots suggesting that Maxwell has a security points score of 27, which would normally bar an offender from serving time in a minimum security facility. So I don't know what's going on, dudes. It's almost like she's getting some kind. I'm sorry, I was trying to say that with a straight face. Special treatment.
Right.
I was really trying to say that with a straight face.
I think she's gonna work at the near high school. I think is what I heard. They're giving her a job there.
I hope she gets a
coach
job
cheerleading.
At the puppy store.
Career counselor.
I hope she gets more time with the puppies.
Yeah,
I think it'll make her happy.
It's scary, but if she can get more public talk time, like you don't really hear her talking ever, right? I don't think there's a clip of her talking on the internet, at least not from like you'd have to go back 30 years. If she can get more talking, she can get more opportunity in the Trump world as a spokesperson or a pundit, because name recognition is really all it takes. If you're like a deplorable scumbag who's, beat your wife or, murdered someone or have some like sexual harassment suit against you, you just put on like a pinstripe suit that makes you look like a Batman villain, and you go on like Fox News and they'll give you airtime. They don't care what you've done, but if you're in the Trump fold, you're a surrogate, you're part of the team, you like Lara Trump singing, you're all in. That's all he cares about. That's why the most reprehensible people have found a space under his wing.
It's easy when you can be bought. When you can buy favor in one of the most, talk about transactional, one of the most transactional presidents you can imagine. I mean, the amount of wealth that his family is generating is just sick. It makes the money he makes from his other ventures look kind of trivial.
You know what's fun? Dan Bongino's Twitter account. This is, the former MAGA podcaster, Fox News host who became the #2 guy at the FBI because he had to take a week off because he blew up when they wouldn't release the Epstein files. Like that's been his whole thing. And then they probably had a little talk with him, put him in the basement. But now his Twitter feed is overselling what the FBI is doing unrelated to Epstein files. So it'll be good news, we stopped 300 violent foreign offenders from coming in. And then it's just a deluge of comments what about the Epstein files? What about the Epstein files? What about the Epstein files? There's nothing more fun than Dan Bongino's Twitter feed, I think, at this point. It's
hilarious.
Good luck changing the topic, big fella.
Well, I guess, wasn't he your long shot hope for either
I was wrong.
Either whistleblower or leaker?
He's not Deep Throat.
No, he's not Deep Throat.
No, nobody is coming to save us. Gavin Newsom is trying stuff. I know there's people critical of I saw what happened to Chris Cuomo, by the way. That's a big disappointment. I thought that guy was really talented, had a legal sense of what was going on in the world with Trump. His brother got sort of disgraced and kicked out, and CNN fired Chris, and now he's reinvented himself as one of these guys that sort of tiptoes the line of MAGA or not MAGA, where you're sort of questioning.
Right.
So
really,
So I saw him taking on Gavin Newsom recently, who I think is stepping up at least as someone willing to go publicly as a stand up to Trump. That's where I was going with that. Sorry, it took me a little bit to get around the block. I used to watch him on CNN.
Yeah, I never watched him, but I know he's definitely turned into a douchebag.
He's like Joe Piscopo.
Yes.
I think
although Joe Piscopo was always a douchebag.
Is he all buff?
Joe Piscopo.
Did he work out a lot?
Yes, he does. That's what I'm saying. He was a news anchor with not a slight frame, but he didn't look like a gym buff guy who was kind of sensibly talking about the issues of the day with Allison Camerata, who I love on CNN. and then CNN fires him, and all of a sudden he's like, Joe Piscopo muscle man, and he's gone MAGA.
Oh,
And
that's
so
Joe
Joe Piscopo.
Joe Piscopo became indirectly. There was an indirect relationship between his funniness and his muscularity.
Yes, exactly.
So he started off really funny, and then the bigger he got, he stopped.
Yeah,
being
he
funny.
stopped being funny. It was almost like they dig-dugged him into like a gym bot, and then he like wasn't funny anymore. Because he was very funny, by the way. Joe Piscopo was hilarious.
You know what,
Stand-up was
though?
great.
If you go back and look at his stuff from the vantage point of being an adult, it's not that good.
Oh, really?
But let me tell you my Joe Piscopo story and why.
Are you trying to Smithsonian Joe Piscopo? I'm sorry.
No, check it out.
I don't know.
Here's just go back with me to a time that we called 1986 in a city called Albany, New York.
Right.
Parents' weekend at the University of Albany. My sister, my sister, me, and my parents, we all went up to visit my brother at Parents' weekend in Albany, and Joe Piscopo was playing a concert at the college. It was like the Parents' weekend special thing, Mm-hmm. So we got tickets to see Joe Piscopo, and I do remember he was good. Like I was enjoying it, but we were like 20 minutes into the set. And it was game 1 of the World Series with the New York Mets and Boston Red Sox. And someone in the audience screamed out, "Hey, what's the score of the Mets game?" And Joe Piscopo went, I guess you'll find out right now. And he dropped the mic and left. Show over.
Wow.
So,
Dude,
always a douchebag. Yeah.
What was going on with you in 1986? You were meeting Hulk Hogan, hanging with Joe Piscopo, the Mets games, everything. That was like the year of your life that that was before I even knew you, really.
Yeah. Oh, man. 87 is when I met Jake the Snake Roberts. So.
You lived quite a life before us. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was good times. It was good times.
But I saw when I was
We're
in
well connected as a child.
when I was in junior high school, I was hanging out at a friend of ours. Remember that crew of friends I had before I started hanging out with you guys? We kind of like drank too much and got into some trouble, so I had to kind of part ways. But we used to shoot pool in one of the guys' basements and watch the Joe Piscopo Halloween special over and over again, where he was doing impressions. Like he would do De Niro. He'd say, "I heard some things, heard some things." He did like a solid, pack of impressions that I think they like used for Saturday Night Live when he joined the cast, including his Frank Sinatra, which was pretty
great.
good.
Frank Sinatra, yeah.
He did a great Frank Sinatra. I mean, him and Billy Crystal, who's playing Sammy Davis Jr.
No, Eddie Murphy.
Eddie
Billy
Murphy,
Crystal. No, Billy Crystal was Sammy Davis Jr. Eddie Murphy was Stevie Wonder. They did a
right.
Eddie Murphy, or they did like a Ebony and Ivory with Frank Sinatra and Stevie Wonder.
And that's like a classic.
I am dark and you are light.
You are blind as a bat, and I have sight. Side by side, you are my amigo. Negro, let's not fight.
So I have like only those memories of him, humor, and then I remember like a few HBO specials that were really like bad. Yeah. And then it was like, okay, he's working in the gym. So yes, roundabout point. Chris Cuomo decided to take on Gavin Newsom because Gavin Newsom's like social media is on fire lately. It's challenging Trump in like a Trumpian way, and he's doing public appearances now, which is like the beginning. I think we are and have discussed being in need of like leadership that's like we can't like put it all in Chuck Schumer anymore. So I don't care about Gavin Newsom's city having like homeless people and some of the other.
What are you talking about, Jeremy? I got them to change the name of the bill. What more could you possibly ask for?
We just need like a stronger leader to step forward. And Kamala said she's, I guess she's not running for governor or something. She's like, we're hearing more about what she won't do than her being the person again. So like we need someone to step up.
Oh, she can't be the person again.
If she could, if she did, I'd support her again. I liked her. But no, you're right. She can't be the person again. But I think like a Gavin Newsom, I can get behind that guy. He says the right thing. He's strong. He's, we need someone like that. So it's time. Someone's got to step up.
He's very telegenic, photogenic. He looks great.
He dated Kimberly Guilfoyle.
Yes.
There you go.
Before she had Mar-a-Lago face.
Right.
I've seen him once or twice on the Bill Maher show.
Yep. He's good.
And
right?
he's incredibly articulate.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, maybe this guy could do the right thing.
He's willing to like go on like the Steve Bannon show. Like that's enemy territory. So he's not afraid. He's not he's kind of like Pete Buttigieg, who's probably going to be one in the mix, who's really good on his feet. He can disassemble the sort of opposition like handily in arguments. So either of those guys
incredible.
Would be fine by me. I mean, Pete Buttigieg being gay in a time when gay rights are being trounced and, you know, gay marriage is under attack now also. Maybe that would be symbolic, but like any combination of Newsom and Buttigieg, I realize they're both white guys. I don't know what to tell you. Like throw someone up who's strong and I'll support them. I don't care. I was all in for Kamala. Color doesn't, I don't care about color. I think we just need someone and nobody else is stepping up. That's the problem.
No, the three of us, we all would have voted for Biden's head in a jar of blue liquid if that was the choice.
Right.
So I don't think that's really the question.
Yeah.
But it would be nice if you could get somebody who attracts votes.
Right.
And is a really good leader. And yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how Newsom develops as a candidate. He's clearly moving on to the national stage and putting himself out there as he's putting himself up the flagpole and seeing if anybody salutes.
Right. I think if we ever have another election, he might win.
Well, that's both optimistic and pessimistic at the same time.
I chuckled at that, and then I felt sad about chuckling at that.
Right.
You're going to be among the first to be retributed against, Jeremy, when the new order comes along.
Yeah.
You've been far too vocal.
Oh my God, there was a guy on Twitter that said the FBI visited his house because of his tweets. I forget what the guy's name was. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, it seems like they're not averse to taking on the troublemakers. It's only a matter of time before Mr. Newberger's AI Funnies is shuttered. So that's probably a good sign that if you're listening, you should buy a T-shirt, a Who Me T-shirt, as soon as possible from bankruptandcompany.com, because you don't know how long Mr. Newberger is going to be around. Those might become collector's items, is all I'm saying.
Act now while supplies last.
We'll set up a pirate radio version of it, like on the dark web or something.
Well, actually, full disclosure, I sent you some Mr. Newberger AI voice today, so you could just create a whole show of me after I'm behind bars and just keep it going.
All right,
I give you my permission.
Excellent.
It's my 10,958th day here at Roger Stone Maximum Security. The Aryan boys keep harassing me, and there aren't exactly a lot of Jewish gangs in prison to back me up. I stay in here most days, reminiscing about the Police Academy movies. It isn't the movies I long for, but the innocence of a time when the authorities had our backs. They didn't break them. I miss my family. I miss Generation Exile. I miss watching Richard Benjamin in The Last of Sheila. Life was good before I was in here. I can't believe I threw it all away for AI musicals and a little bit of YouTube fame. If I had to do it all over again, I'd buy some Trump coin and stay on his good side.